Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning to everyone. What's up, everybody? This your man Dre Mac coming to you again with another episode of the Dre Mac Show. 7 o'clock in the morning, you already know what I'm doing. Bright early in the morning, going to talk about some Secret Invasion. Episode 5 will be dropping tomorrow morning. So, of course, I'm going to do a breakdown, spoiler review on the show. But today, I kind of wanted to talk about what should we expect in episode 5. We only got 2 episodes left. So is there things, or are we going to have another twist? Are we going to have another turn? What is going to go on? What should we expect in this episode that's going to be coming up tomorrow? Hopefully you guys are happy. Hopefully you guys are healthy. Shout out to my man Heavy Gant. You know what I'm saying for that, but hopefully you guys are happy and healthy. I got the forehead out today, letting the forehead breathe. You know what I'm saying? And the glasses on. You know what I'm saying? And repping my Chiefs. You already know what it is. Kansas City in the building. All right. You already know what it's time for. Let me see who's all in the house real quick. D Stizzle, as always, is in the house. What's going on, my brother? You know, I'm going to talk a little bit about the actor strike too. So I'm going to get into a couple things or whatever and get this show started. You already know what I'm doing. The real question is, all right. Let's get this mug going. And today I'm gonna try my damnness not to be on here that long. Just for the simple fact is that I ain't gonna lie, brother is just my body's all over the place. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't work out because a lot of people don't know I had surgery about 9 years ago on my stomach to remove my appendix, and they filled my stomach up full of air. So every now and again, if I eat like too much pasta, and it just really, it seems like if I eat too much pasta, my stomach will completely like cramp up like really bad. And so I had to wait a couple days for everything to kind of like chill out. And then I was super hungry, you know what I mean? And then working out, doing push-ups. Then I'm like, I'm hungry. And then I eat, go back to doing more push-ups. Like, God, I'm hungry again. But that's me not, my body was just not, I was saying I couldn't eat like I really wanted to. You know what I'm saying? Because of that. Yeah, D Stizzle, man. It was bad. I was in the hospital for a month for I had appendicitis. Because it got when your appendix ruptures, there's fluid that leaks out of the appendix, and it was spreading throughout my stomach, so they had to take these gigantic needles and take it and put it inside my stomach and drain some of it. My stomach had to be pumped. Not fun at all. Not fun. And that was the month that I was supposed to start at Ford Motor Company. You know what I mean? So it wasn't good at all. It wasn't good. So I'm here. I survived. The forehead here. So I guess if the forehead here, then I'm here. You know what I'm saying? And it's all good. But if you're coming in and you watch this on a replay, don't forget to give a brother a thumbs up. You already know what I'm doing. You know what I mean? I don't ask for no money or anything. Just one of these. You can give me 2. I don't care how many thumbs up you give me. Give a brother a thumbs up if you're in the house. But anyway, I got through watching I binge watched Quarterback on Netflix. And I remember I was talking to my boy at work, and I was telling him how much, like, yo, I can't wait to see this to see if the Chiefs is gonna get Patrick Mahomes. I'm telling you, Patrick Mahomes, I kept hyping up Pat, and he was like, Arion. Shout out to my man Arion and his wife, who was in the house for best I think she was best stylist in KC. Shout out to them, to the Watson Watsons. Hopefully you guys are watching this on Facebook or whatever. Shout out to the Watson family. You know what I mean? Doing big things up in KC. But anyway, so I was bragging to him like, yo, this kid threw like 700 yards in a game. You know what I'm saying? The dude, fantastic, whatever. He's like, man, I ain't really never heard of Pat Mahomes, but because it was he was like, man, I think we should get Deshaun Watson. Wasn't nobody trying to pick Mitchell Trubisky, trust me. We didn't even think he was gonna be there. You know what I mean? I'm like, nah, if the Chiefs need to get anybody, they need to get Patrick Mahomes. Remember, there's a summer before the draft, 2017. And when we picked Patrick Mahomes, I was like, I'm telling you, this dude is gonna change the franchise. And to see 7 years later what this kid has accomplished, like I'm watching this show and it makes me want to suit up. You know what I mean? Just the kind of fire that Patrick Mahomes has, man, just had me hyped, man. So I would recommend anybody watch quarterback, man. I'm not saying this because I'm a Kansas City Chiefs fan and that's my guy, because it is my guy. It's Patrick LaVon Mahomes II. You know what I mean? But you could tell the quarterbacks like him that's rare that just got this mentality like, dog, I'm going out there to compete every single time, and you know what I'm saying? That's who I am. You can't stop me. You know what I mean? It's different in football than it is in basketball, but he has that Mamba, that Michael mentality. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, I'm coming to compete. I'm bringing it to you. You know what I'm saying? And he knows he's good. So I recommend anybody, man. Quarterback was awesome. I mean, there was some I watched that too. I'm gonna get to that too. I'm about to talk about that one too. But yeah, I recommend anybody watch quarterback. If you into the NFL or whatever, I mean, it's kind of crazy because they started that at the beginning of the season and we end up winning the Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? And shout out to all the Eagles fans. Shout out to Jalen Hurts fan. Jalen Hurts is a monster. That dude is going to win y'all Super Bowl. Trust me. That dude is a beast. You know what I mean? He scared the hell out of me. My quarterback got a bum ankle. He had a bum shoulder, and they put on one of the best Super Bowls I've ever watched. You know what I mean? Just great stuff. You know what I mean? I really enjoyed it. So if you're just an NFL fan, do you want to get that aspect of the quarterback, man, go watch that, man. It's so good, and it'll show you the difference between that winner that, hey, no matter what, I don't care if my leg falling off. If I could get a play in, I'm gonna do it. And the guys who's just there, you know what I mean? So check that out. Also, D Sizzle, I binge watched Muscle and Mayhem. Oh my God, I remember watching American Gladiators as a kid too, and I remember the main thing I remember was the music. Man, oh my God. And knowing what they went through, I felt so bad. But I was a big fan of Nitro and Gemini, especially Gemini. Big fan of his. I didn't like what Saber and them came. I ain't even gonna hold you. I did not like what Saber and them came. But Zap, Ice, you know what I mean? I think Ice is the one. I think Ice was the one lady. She was gay, but she has the prettiest smile. I used to be mad. I used to be a big fan of theirs. You know what I'm saying? Watching, you know what I'm saying? A video game came out. You know what I mean? The whole jousting thing, I always wanted to do that. You know what I mean? Especially, Turtles is out that time. You got Donatello whipping a bow staff. I've never seen nobody just go up there with the top, man. But it was sad how they did those guys, man. They never really paid them. You know what I'm saying? They didn't really have a true medical staff on hand. They never really had a B team. You know what I'm saying? They literally treated these guys like a flying circus, man. And I always wondered about what it was, Nitro and his boy. Was it not Turbo? Can't think of his boys with Nitro's homie's name, or his Laser. I always wonder, especially this is the time in the 80s where the bodybuilder and these people had these physiques that, dog, no matter how much I work out, I cannot get that. I cannot. I got it. You got, and that was the area of the land of juicing at that time, and it was talking about Hogan. Hogan was big as hell when he wrestled Ultimate Warrior, which was another one that was big as hell. And then when he went to WCW and wasn't juicing no more, you seen him slim down. You know what I'm saying? The 24-inch pythons wasn't 24, was it? You know what I'm saying? So yeah, you know what I mean? Just kind of reliving that time. The late 80s, early 90s. Seeing kind of like the guys that I grew up with, you know, in that light, and seeing like their story, hearing their story. Nitros was real deep. Nitro and Lasers, I think it's Laser, was real deep. You know what I'm saying? Talking about their family dynamic, their fathers, you know what I'm saying, and stuff like that. Man, it was really good stuff. And I really like that. You know what I mean? Oh yeah, man. They was juicing hard. My man Nitro went from like 200 to a good 225 of pure muscle, like in a season and a half. Like, yo, you was not that big. But I did like what they said about Malibu, like his eyes start flickering because he didn't want to take that hit. I played football. I never forget this. I got blindsided in practice. Me and somebody had a disagreement. You know what I'm saying? I might have put pause on him the day, you know, the day before. You know what I mean? Because we had a disagreement. I had to let him know, you know what I'm saying? I ain't taking it. You know what I'm saying? I don't take all that disrespect. You know what I'm saying? So his boy wanted to give me during drills. During drills, I'm doing a high knee drill, and homeboy, even at the time, you know, I was, you know, 5'8", 100 and well, at that time I was about one football shape, I was like 150 at that time or whatever, but 5'8", 150, not a really big guy. This guy is 6'2", 200 pounds. You know what I'm saying? Full. I'm talking about it caught me right square in the ear hole. And that's some old helmets with the gigantic ear hole on the side. You know what I mean? Where make this crack sound. I never forget. Felt like it felt like you got shot. And I remember going to the ground and I got up and started laughing because I was like, now I told dude what I was gonna do, but y'all want to sucker me, but none of y'all want to square up though, because y'all want to lose y'all spot on the job on the team and any of that. So you want to take up for your boy who can't defend himself. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm not gonna lie, because he did that. I'm in the middle of drills soon. Now, mind you, we got to stretch, do drills, and then get ready. You know what I'm saying, for practice our plays and stuff like that. I ain't gonna lie, my leg was shaking like a wet chihuahua because I didn't know where it was coming from. Now I'm in defense mode. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't know where it's coming from or whatever. I want to swing on anybody who attempts to do that. And somebody tried to attempt to do that and I sidestepped them. You know what I'm saying? Like legitimately, like Goku Ultra Instinct sidestepped him. You know what I mean? So yeah, a lot of Royal Rage. Yeah, buddy. Titan was another one I remember in his Wheaties commercial. I did not know he freaked out like that. But yeah, and the only other time I felt like that when my leg literally started shaking like that when I lit in Compton. Not even gonna hold you. When I when I when I lit in Compton, I'm not even gonna hold you. I went into a area known as Treetop Piru on Piru Street. That's the trees in Piru. Because I was hanging with a homegirl, and she was like, "I'm gonna take you to the Compton swap meet." This is our first move there, and I befriended a young lady there, and she was like, "Oh, I'm gonna take you whoop de whoop places or whatever." You know what I mean? And the California accent is really gonna come out when I'm telling this story. But I'm on Piru Street. She took me to her neighborhood. I've never been that scared before in my life. I'm talking about it took me years to stop shaking. You know what I mean? Took me years. I'm not years. It took me a minute to stop shaking. Dude was like, "Hey, he was like, hey, blood, where you from?" And I'm like, "Man, I'm from Kansas City, man. I don't gang bang. I don't nothing. You know what I'm saying? I'm square out here. You know what I'm saying? Kansas City. Oh yeah, I know some people in Kansas City. Woo, woo, woo. Oh, yo, people. Woo, 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 woo. I'm like, I'm gonna die. But he was an OG dude. He was a dude who ran the block, gave me the pass. I was straight. You know what I'm saying? I was straight. So yeah, man, it's crazy stuff. Years ago, my brother tried over the counter muscle enhancement. He just broke out crazy acne. That's ain't no joke. Yeah, I'm good on that. I'm good on that, man. Man. I do gel workouts before I get into any of that stuff. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm 5'9", 171 pounds, but I'm not trying to be, cock, you know what I mean, where I can't move my arms and nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? Just maintain a healthy weight. You know what I mean? Yeah, I've been out there before. Yeah. Yeah, Compton. That part of Compton, not gonna lie. Now I live around the corner from Grape Street, but Pyru, Cedar Oak, Elm, man, that ain't where you just want to go. Ain't just tour. Yeah, ain't the vacation spot. But I got the pass, so you know what I'm saying. I was good. I was good. So, let me talk about this real quick. My favorite person in the world, Black Sands Entertainment, uh, came out and was like, actors shouldn't get residuals or royalties or whatever. If you ever read my Twitter, man, anytime I don't really fool with this dude at all. I'm gonna just be honest with you. I don't fool with Black Sands. I believe Black Sands is the epitome of when black people have success and then they just try to do the fool without looking at the results or thinking about what they're actually doing. They're like, I made it. I'm just because I'm black, I don't have to buy your product if your service is bad. And I really want people to understand that. If you are a black on business, I mean, Eric July is another guy just in this space that I'm gonna talk about, which I don't have any problem with Eric July. We might not agree as far as politically on certain things, but I have no problem with Eric July like that as a man. He's a man. Like I don't have no problem with Black Sands Entertainment as a man. I don't like his antics. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I don't fool with him. And one thing you have to understand is that customers come first. So if you're trying to gather customers, you know what I mean? The first thing you don't want to do is try to tell that the actors don't need royalties and stuff like that for the work that they do. Now I'm gonna tell y'all, I'm a union guy. I'm part of the UAW 249. I don't play when it comes to like this strike. I'm most definitely down for the strike. I don't like strikes, and we're getting ready to go to contract real soon for the UAW 249 locally. You know what I mean? We don't want to strike, but we want fair pay. And with the writers and actors, the writers and actors strikes, I'm standing for them. You know what I mean? For one, you want to get fair pay. For one, you know what I mean? For two, you're trying to have AI and artificial intelligence take over this industry. And it's telling you right now that these companies, these studios, is why I said a lot of people be defending the studios. I'm like, why? The studio, and I don't know how many times did I have to say this. The studio is there to make money. They don't give a fuck about these actors. They're there to make money. And I'm telling you the truth. You know what I'm saying? They will fire you in a heartbeat. You know what I'm saying? So you need a strong union to be able to stand up to these corporations, to Hollywood. You know what I'm saying? And if the actors are striking and they're standing with the writers, then it like Deadpool 3, you know what I mean, is right now is stopped, is at a halt. You know what I mean? Because of the writer's strike and the actor's strike. You know what I mean? Bob Iger came out and said something ridiculous about the actors shouldn't be out here on strike. What? Dude, you're an executive that makes millions of dollars. How dare you go tell someone who is actually, the star of the show? You're not the star of the show. You know what I mean? But the star of the actual show shouldn't get paid accordingly. You know what I mean? And these people, and again, I hate to bring up Chadwick Boseman, but Chadwick, after Black Panther, went to go renegotiate his contract because he felt like he was going to play Black Panther literally until he died, which he did. You know what I mean? And they wouldn't renegotiate his contract, even though he was the first one to crack over $1 billion at the highest grossing solo franchise in Marvel. You know what I mean? And they wouldn't renegotiate his contract and pay him. And they were talking about replacing him then when he started asking for money. You know what I mean? And that's what you got to do. You know what I mean? You got to go out and you got to tell them exactly, hey, we're not doing jack until we get paid what we need. You know what I mean? And I feel bad for a lot of the actors who are not the millionaires. Your CD list characters, actors, some guys who's coming in and do a commercial. You know what I mean? You got to make ends meet. He's doing a job here and there and then have to go, and work back as a waiter somewhere or something like that. And I feel bad for those guys because I wanted to be in that position. When I went out to LA and went to Hollywood and was going to these studios and all of this, I was seeing people who had dreams and admirations. Then you go with the Skid Row and see where those dreams and admirations come to die. So you got to pay these people. So I'm standing most definitely 110% down with the union, with SAG and the Writers Guild, because for one, they need to be paid. Stop looking at this artificial intelligence. No matter how cool it is, it's not the human experience. That you have to be able to have the human experience in this stuff that you're in, these stories that you're telling. Without the human experience, without the energy, there's energy that comes from a human writing, a human typing. There's energy that is produced that you can be able to feel in certain projects. You can tell when they put their heart and soul into that project. Can you get that with AI, or are you just trying to pump out films? You know what I mean? And now they have the technology where they can just use your voice, the AI voice. That's why I heard a song with Tupac and Biggie singing "Many Men." You know what I mean? If this came out, I remember when John Witherspoon's son was talking about this. You know what I mean? How they were going to just use AI voice for his dad. He was like, well, first of all, I'm a voice actor. Second of all, who can do my dad better than I can? Improved it on his YouTube channel. And it's plenty of problems with the Boondocks. That's why the Boondocks never came back out. You know what I mean? Now they're trying to use facial scans. You know what I mean? So we can have that stuff to look like what was in the Flash with the Uncanny Valley. That's not movies. We, the humans that go out there and perform and spent their lifetime performing, that's what sells. And if these studios don't understand it, stand 10 toes down until that happens. So I'm with the strike. Adelino, is it Adelino Santos? Say me if I said that right, because I want to be able to pronounce it right. But what's going on? Good morning to you on my side of the water. The Boondocks was awesome. Matter of fact, oh my God, Ant Culture was capping for black people, and the Boondocks called that all the way in 2005. Boondock one of the greatest shows ever. Thank you. All right, let me get to some of these comments before we get to the main thing. WBD CEO David Salif made $498 million in the last 5 years, and you got these writers begging for extra pennies on a dollar. Exactly. Not begging, but demanding. Exactly. Bob Iger out here acting like Dark Sidious. I am the Senate. You know what I mean? And it's just is the problem with the studios is that there's a report now that that Apple's in talks to buy Disney, that Bob Iger is going to sell Disney to Apple. You know what I mean? And merge Apple TV and Disney Plus and all of that with them. You know what I mean? It's a lot going on right now, and it's the ugly side of the business. It's the ugly side of the business. Funny first episode I came across was the R. Kelly sex tape. When I tell you I've actually seen that for myself, me and my brother, and we didn't ask for it. We didn't ask for it. We was kicking at this girl's house one day, man. Kicking at this girl's house one day. We chilling. Long, long time ago. This was 2000. I want to say this was 2001, early 2001. We kicking at these girls' house. We're chilling, all of that. And the girls was like, "Hey, you want to watch the R. Kelly tape?" I'm like, "Man, you ain't got the R. Kelly tape." She literally, it's a tape. You know what I'm saying? VHS tape. Pop that joint in, and me and my brother just looked at each other like, I can't believe she got the R. Kelly tape. First of all, why do you have this? Where did you get it from? You know what I mean? Like, yo, there's a lot more to that too. Boy, that was a wild day. That was just a wild day. That's all I'm gonna say. AI program tools are useful for recreating James Earl Jones' voice, Mark Hamill's voice for their characters. That should be it. Exactly. It shouldn't replace the human being, though. I mean, you shouldn't use it to resurrect a dead character and use their voice. That is weird to me. Completely, utterly weird to me. So yeah. So I stand with the writers. I stand with the actors. I believe that we should be able to. They should be able to be able to be compensated for the work that they do and get residuals and royalties. And the reason why I'm seeing residuals and royalties, what the residuals and royalties would do is that once, like, say for instance, what one thing that Jason Weaver's mom did and James Earl Jones talked about was how he got offered, he negotiated his contract, Jason Weaver did, but James Earl Jones passed on it. And he took the money. He took I think he tells a story. It was like $10,000 or something at the time because he just really needed because it was broke. You know what I'm saying? And they offered him residuals on the movie, but it was they didn't think Star Wars was going to work. And if he would have took the residuals, the man could have retired a long time ago. That's all I'm saying. And that's the same thing Jason Weaver did. Jason Weaver, for doing the voice of Simba in The Lion King, still gets paid. That's why he ain't got to work. He doesn't have to work at all. You know what I mean? Still gets mad residuals. Shout out to his mom, though, for seeing the bigger picture and stuff like that. And this is what these actors are looking at, the bigger picture. So if you have a franchise on your hand, let's say for instance Scream, you have a franchise on your hands, wouldn't you cut in residual or percentage or points to be able to make that money? You know what I'm saying? Long after you're done with the movie industry. That's all I'm saying, because everybody doesn't make it to be like these big Hollywood stars. So why not take care of the other people? If the family can say size off on it, I'm cool with using dead actors though. Don't like corporations buying the rights to these. Yeah, like what they did with George Reeves and Christopher Reeves in the Flash movie. That was, I ain't gonna lie, that was weird. The Nicolas Cage Superman, I was cool with that, but the Christopher Reeves, I was like, at first I was like, oh snap, and then I was like, yeah, I don't feel right about that. I don't feel right. So that's just my takes. What do you guys think? I'm just saying I stand with the actors and the writers, man. Pay these people. You know what I'm saying? Pay these people a fair wages. You know what I mean? I don't care if nothing comes back as long as these people get paid. It's the honest to God's truth. I want these people to get paid. So, all right, let's get to the main topic. Secret Invasion. What should we expect in episode 5? Now, I it's weird because I really, really, really like this show. I like the concept of the show. But what I expect, and I want you to put what you expect in the comment section so we can talk about it. But what I expect in this episode 5, is starting to become some payoffs. What was Fury doing after the blip? Is there a reason why they haven't shown us what he went through after he came back from being blipped? Was he ever blipped? Was that a scroll? Was that a that got blipped with Maria Hill? who had the pager. You know what I mean? Well, has he always been? It's gotta be. I gotta start getting some payoffs. You know what I mean? We're already at, close to the last episode, and we still have no idea how this show is moving. How this show is, if this is supposed to be an invasion, what is really being invaded besides governments or whatever? And I believe the subplot is the graphic stuff. But what's after the graphic stuff? What am I seeing after that? What am I supposed to be thinking, like, after they do this movie? I mean, do this show. What am I thinking after that? Am I like, yeah, this is exactly what what this should be, or whatever? What, I don't get it. Honestly, I don't get where this can go and where this can lead to, because there's so many plot threads and stuff like that that's just not, they haven't been tied yet. I that's what I say. They haven't been tied yet. And to me, things need to start wrapping up. But I gotta know what's going on with Fury. Is this the real Fury? You know what I'm saying? Is this two Furies? You know what I mean? But it's just the Fury that we met in the first Avengers movie, the Fury that we met in Captain Marvel, and the Fury that we meet now are all totally different. They shouldn't wrap this show up in a neat little. No, they shouldn't wrap it up. For what I understand, I'm trying to see if I'm a get Emergency Awesome. I think he did something for episode, like a preview of episode 5 or something like that, where he talked about episode 5 on yesterday. And I want to play his. Okay, yeah. He's going over the trailer, so we can just do it. We can do a quick little oh snap. Okay, I want you to stop. But we could do a quick reaction, because I haven't seen this from Emergency Awesome. So we could do a quick little reaction video to Emergency Awesome. I always tell people, go like, share, subscribe to this dude's channel. I've been watching Charlie for years. Never been wrong. Very nice dude too. Very nice. He's surprisingly like, well, if he could get to your comment or whatever in his comment section, he actually responds. But he's a million deep. You know what I mean? But very nice dude though. So let's go. All right, let's pull this way, and let's go over. Excuse me. Excuse me. Let's go over this.
You're the most wanted and hated man on the planet. Consider this a preview, Nick. I'm gonna make sure you get the whole show.
Nick Fury. My war is set in motion.
Now, again, I'm gonna go back to the whole Rhodey thing. You know what I mean? Because I was listening to Ryan Aries on Screen Crush, and he was talking about the reveal of Rhodey being a Skrull wasn't that exciting. He said because it felt like it should be more. It again, I see that, but if I had to pick any actor that would have been a Skrull, it would have been Don Cheadle. Just because of how phenomenal of an actor he really is. If I'm going to pick anybody, it's going to be Don Cheadle. Now, I do like the fact that they are, talking about, I guess it's evasion of what he's doing, trying to let the president know. But it to me, I guess because they said it's been a twist every episode. If there's a major reveal, then I'm with it. And I'm hearing, I'm hearing there's supposed to be some more reveals, some more cameos in the last 2 episodes. I don't know. I'm gonna just watch them. We're gonna watch it tomorrow and break it down. I don't know, but we'll see. Let's see. Let's go ahead and finish the trailer.
My war is set in motion. This is the extinction of the human race.
So you are responsible for all this?
Why do you think I came back?
So when he says he's responsible, is he saying, is he, if he's responsible for all of this, then what's the deal? If he's responsible, did he do this because he wanted to try to move up the corporate ladder? You know what I'm saying? To have more eyes and ears on everything in the world. Why was he why was he thinking this was his problem?
After everything you've lost, do you still have any fight left in you?
The only power I have was planted between my ears by a single mother. If that ain't enough, I don't know what hope we have.
And again, when they show like scenes like this, like my thing is that, you know, who put this in my, that's why I'm saying, man, there's something about this Talos thing that I feel like it's just something that Carol Danvers said when they said, man, it was 1,000. It's thousands of planets on here. You tell me you couldn't find one planet for them to live on? I mean, hell, Thanos snapped half of civilization and went and found a retirement home on the planet. You tell me you couldn't take them there? Some don't sound, I guess that's the problem that I have. And I guess I got to have that itch scratched for me to understand. But I think that's what it is. I don't have that. I don't have that. I don't know why they couldn't find a home. And until I find out why they couldn't find a home, I think that's when I'll stop tripping off of this. But I think it just doesn't sound right. Something just sounds off.
You're out of moves, Fury. This is a ticking time bomb.
You got to figure out which side you're on.
Whoa. Wait a minute. Was this man like oh no, don't do that to me, baby. Come on now. Yo, my man is my man been on them 1987 Roy's, ain't he? He look like he been juicing. I guess he's using Cold Obsidian's power now. Okay. Like right now, the explanation isn't good enough right now. But do y'all, I hate to say this, man, because Samuel Jackson is my guy. Do you believe in his right mind, a 70-year-old guy going against Skrulls that he knows is stronger, bigger, and faster than him? Remember, he got his ass kicked by Talos in the Captain Marvel movie. This just cannot be the real Nick Fury to me. I don't think it. I don't know. That's just me. Maybe because they got me thinking, who can I trust? I don't trust this show right now until I get answers.
Marvel Studios' Secret Invasion.
You going to shoot me?
Maybe.
Oh, probably.
Welcome back, everyone. It's Charlie. Marvel dropped a trailer for the last couple of episodes of Secret Invasion. There's a whole bunch of new scenes, Easter eggs, so we'll break it all down. If you're brand new to the channel, be sure to subscribe to get all the videos. Just in general, the series is meant to help set up the Marvels movie, which is happening later this year. And in addition to that, what's happening with Captain America 4 soon, with Thunderbolt Ross becoming US president, Val restarting the Weapons Plus program, creating the Sentry, creating the Thunderbolts. Generally setting off Marvel Phase 5's Dark Reign era, because it's kind of the progression, the way things happen in the comics. You go from Secret Invasion, then you go to Dark Reign, where the villains start to come to power. The difference with comics.
Now, the thing about Secret Invasion, yeah, exactly. D-Stills, exactly. He's not enhanced. The thing is that, okay, if we go to Secret Invasion, you have to play Secret Invasion now before you get into Dark Reign. And you're going to have a couple movies, you know what I'm saying, and maybe a season 2 of Secret Invasions to complete this story. If y'all agree with me, put it in the chats. But I believe this is just my personal thoughts. In the background, you know what I mean, while we having all the multiverse stuff, you can do Secret Invasions in as far as everything is going in a couple movies, right? Captain America, Brave New World should be one of them. You know what I mean? The Thunderbolts, or no, let me take that back. To me, it should go into Fantastic Four. I don't know. D says, I'll bring your comment, but I don't know why he's in a Punisher armor. I mean, why Punisher and War Machine's armor? I don't know. But my thing is that if you're gonna do that, the Skrulls still need to be a threat. They still need to be a threat if you're gonna do Dark Reign. And Dark Reign is one of my favorite comic runs because basically after Endgame, they went straight to Avengers Disassemble. That's why it's weird. Everybody was like, well, where's the heroes at? This is really literally Marvel's version of Avengers is Avengers and New Avengers. It was Avengers Disassemble is what they're doing right now. You know what I mean? Now you're doing Disassemble, where all the heroes and the Avengers is not, together or whatever. You know what I'm saying? That can lead up to X-Men versus Avengers versus X-Men in the future. Once they get that team together and they meet the X-Men, they can do X-Men versus Avengers versus X-Men. The only thing that sucks is that Namor already flooded Wakanda, and they're not going to do that again. That honestly, at this point, I don't even know why Wakanda's here, because of Wakanda. They done wrote Wakandans to make them act like chumps. You know what I mean? That's my personal thought. You know what I mean? But if you're going to do this, then you have to lead. If you're going to lead up to Dark Reign, you know what I mean? You're going to have to let this whole entire thing play out a little bit more than just that. You're gonna have to let this thing play out in a couple movies and in a Secret Invasion season 2 to culminate the whole entire thing. And then that'll be a good way to do the Skrull Secret Invasion storyline without having to be just self-contained in this show. Then you go into Dark Reign. You know what I'm saying? Then you have some Skrulls around so you can be able to introduce Crit into the is it Kurt? It's Kurt, the Super Skrull. You know what I mean? So I hear you, but for me, they already did this symbol between, and that's what I'm saying. You're going from Avengers Disassembled, you know what I'm saying, from Infinity War, Endgame. This whole entire phase has been disassembled. Let's be real. This has been Avengers Disassembled because everybody, Hawkeye retired. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Jeremy Renner, man, getting his strength and everything back. You know what I mean? After that horrific accident that happened with him. But everybody's scattered. Natasha's gone. Elena Belova doesn't know where she's supposed to be at. You know what I'm saying? All these other things. So yeah, you're really in disassemble. This is a phase of disassemble right now. Yeah, definitely need the Fantastic Four ASAP.
comic book Secret Invasion is that you have all the heroes, like all the Avengers, all the X-Men, all the Fantastic Four characters, Spider-Man characters, all fighting together to get rid of the Skrulls, even the villains of all those different heroes fighting to get rid of the Skrulls. And it's Norman Osborn who takes credit for killing the Skrull Queen, who in the comics was leading the Secret Invasion. That's how he winds up winning favor with the US government and coming to power. He takes over S.H.I.E.L.D., he takes over all of Iron Man's assets, and kind of sets off this Dark Reign era. The MCU version of that will be a little bit different. Like, we don't have a Norman Osborn inside the MCU right now. The last Norman Osborn was in Spider-Man No Way Home, and he went back to his universe. They're mostly giving that storyline to Thunderbolt Ross and Val. So we'll talk a little bit more about them at the end of the video, but just starting with the new footage here, we have Nick Fury versus Skrull Rhodey at what looks like the president's hospital. Like, I'm assuming after the end of last week's episode, he just took the president to the hospital to get more treatment. It looks like Skrull Rhodey and the Secret Service arrive at the hospital, and Skrull Rhodey is trying to make them think, the Secret Service think, that Nick Fury is really trying to kill the president, when it's really actually him.
And really, that's not a big twist. In another thing, this episode 5, when I'm expect it should be longer than 38 minutes. Dude, you got to drop these next 2 episodes at least 50 minutes, if not an hour. You know what I'm saying? The next 2, so we can feel like part 1 of, you know what I'm saying, the end of this. You know what I'm saying? And part 2 is the culmination.
One of the big things with this is they have to actually out him. Like, he has to turn into his Skrull form in full sight of the Secret Service and the president so that they realize that he really is a Skrull. Technically a female Skrull too, but that doesn't really matter. A lot of people wondering if that's actually going to wind up being the Skrull Queen. I don't think that's the case. They did reference the other Skrull Emperor that was on a completely separate planet. Like Talos said that they did have a Skrull Emperor. He was still alive. He had a completely separate sect of Skrulls that served him, but they were in a completely different part of the universe.
I sent out the call.
So, but I get what you're saying. But at the same, and this is why me and, you know, and I get into it with people who are anti-recasters, because if Thunderbolt Ross has basically been playing like that Norman Osborn type, but for the government throughout the MCU. So it's not out of the realm of possibility that he could be the Norman Osborn type. So I'm not mad. I'm just mad because people think Thunderbolt Ross is insignificant. Like, he's not a big part of what they're trying to do in the MCU. So I believe he could take that reign. You know what I'm saying? No pun intended, but, you know, he could take that. And if you're going to hire Harrison Ford, you're going to have to do him being a Norman Osborn type. And of course, since we haven't introduced Norman Osborn in the MCU, it wouldn't make any sense to have him come in and just start doing stuff that Norman Osborn would do, and he's not really been properly introduced. So that'd be weird. You know what I mean? And I don't think that Sony is just going to let us get a Norman Osborn just for this universe just yet. So that's my thoughts. I don't know. I could be totally wrong.
And every Skrull that isn't in Emperor George's colony, that's it.
Good morning,
for the most
Peter.
part, like the million surviving Skrulls from their original home planet, Skrullos, are now on Earth. There was just a small group of them with the former Skrull Emperor, or still Skrull Emperor technically, in a separate part of the galaxy.
Good morning,
My guess
Peter.
is they might reference them during the events of the Marvels movie and more of the space-based movies. Like, they do have a plan to do the Nova character eventually. There'll be more space-based movies in general, even though they're not going to do Guardians of the Galaxy 4. That's a whole separate thing too. Rocket's new Guardians team will continue in the MCU. Like, they'll keep coming back, but it'll be like the Guardians of the Galaxy appearing during Avengers Infinity War and Avengers Endgame. Like, they'll show up in other people's movies. There's a new scene of Sonya Fallsworth, Union Jack, taking Nick Fury to his graveside, talking about why.
That's not Union Jack. I hate when people do that. Union Jack was in Captain America: First Avenger. That's his great granddaughter or granddaughter. But Union Jack was in Captain America: First Avenger as a part of the Howler Commandos. People need to know that. So because people would get confused, be looking for Union Jack and be like, well, that's not a woman. So yeah. But what's going on? If you didn't hear me, what's going on, Kita? Good morning to you. Thank you for stopping in all the time. Thank you for stopping in.
Why he left Earth, why he came back. Does he still have fight left in him? The idea is obviously yes. They've kind of alluded to this, like there was trauma that he was dealing with, like he just needed a break in general. They had a joke about it during Spider-Man Far From Home, like he was literally and metaphorically taking a vacation on the Skrull space station.
And again, this is where I have a problem with. If he was so distraught on this scene on in No Way Home, I mean Far From Home, he was chilling with his shoes off. Hey, where my shoes at? He didn't seem distressed. He wasn't walking with no limp. None of that. So what the hell is really going on? And I do understand where what you're talking about, because he is a diabolical villain. Yeah. Yep, he does have a daughter in the comics, Jacqueline Fosworth, aka Spitfire. Don't why they didn't use her. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Don't know, but maybe that's her mother. You know what I'm saying? Maybe that's Sonya Farnsworth's mother. So because the Howling Commando was like in the 1940s and we're in 2026, you know what I mean? Spitfire probably would have been like 670, you know what I mean, or whatever. I don't know. Don't get me to lying, but I don't think that would have worked if you look at the timeline. So, but I can see that being her mother though. Trying to get some tea or some coffee. I'm looking at, man, I drink tea. I need some coffee right now. I gotta go cut my grass. Let me get
Saber space station. Just call it a mental health vacation, and he's finally come back. Like, he probably should have come back sooner than this. There's a new scene of him talking about his mother when he's getting his gear from his secret stash at his gravesite. More references to his childhood. He hasn't talked too much about his mama, quote unquote, saying the only real thing that his mother gave him was his brain, and he didn't have a father growing up, like a single mother. It sounds like his father either died in what would have probably been the Vietnam War, just based on the way they're moving the timeline and when all these wars would have happened, or maybe his father died in some separate event after he was born back in the 60s, or he left the family. Maybe he'll mention more about his father eventually, but it sounds like he was closer to his mother growing up.
Am I the only one who, while they showing that Wolverine, even though that movie Wolverine Origins is terrible, that is a terrible ass movie. This is why a lot of this stuff I complain, but for one, for Deadpool and Wolverine being some of my favorite characters of all times, the debacle of that movie, I did like Lee Schreiber, I believe that's how you pronounce it, or Lee Schreiber as Sabretooth though. I just wish he would have been more comic books Sabretooth, and they would have made them brothers. That was weird, but yeah, I actually liked him.
When they started showing off the early footage of the series, a lot of people assumed that they were actually going to show us what happened to his father, and this tombstone would be for Nicholas Fury Sr., and he's Nicholas Fury Jr. And based on the way they move the timeline of all the characters, maybe they just say that it was his father, Nick Fury Sr., who actually fought with the Howling Commandos, because in the comics, it was actually Nick Fury who fought with the Howling Commandos and Captain America. When he says if his brains aren't enough to stop the Skrulls and the world is doomed, that's also probably part of their justification for not doing a more comic booky Avengers level Secret Invasion with all the Avengers characters, X-Men, Fantastic Four, basically all the major Marvel characters, making Secret Invasion more of a movie Avengers level event. The $500 million version of Secret Invasion, although reportedly they spent over $200 million making this series, which seems kind of crazy, but that's probably because of some of the pandemic protocols. He finally puts the eye patch back on. That's probably part of the metaphor that the old school Nick Fury is finally back. Like fire and brimstone, end of the world is upon us, Nick Fury. Time to assemble that new Avengers team, finally. Reportedly, we're going to see some teasers for that during the Marvels movie, but mostly with the Young Avengers. I think there's going to be a post-credit scene that will set up the Young Avengers team and Miss Marvel trying to go around and put together the younger heroes.
And again, what I really want to see on here, what I expect to see in episode in episode 5 is, can we actually see? Don't tell us. I don't want to hear a story. I want them to actually show us, like they did with Monica Rambeau in WandaVision, her coming back from the blip, her being disoriented. If this is supposed to be so much of a big thing, show us. You know what I mean? A lot of this has to be the show and not tell. Fun fact, Jacqueline was an old woman before she got bitten, turned to a vampire, tried to kill Blade. That was Blade's girlfriend for a bit. Oh, that's dope. Okay, that's what's up.
I don't know if Nick Fury is supposed to appear in Captain America 4, but I think that's when we're going to get our first teaser for like the full-blown new Avengers team. They won't actually put it together in Captain America 4. They'll just be a teaser for them saying, okay, it's time to finally put together that new team. There's a brand new scene of Gaia finding one of the secret warehouses of people that they've taken over, mostly world leaders, people in critical positions of power. The Skrull secret invasion technically already happened a long time ago. That's kind of a running joke during the series, is that it's called Secret Invasion, but
wouldn't it be dope? Like, if you go back and look at this, wouldn't it be dope? Again, you look over and, you know, it's a Black Panther. I'm just saying, I'm gonna stop having hope.
Positions of power. The Skrull secret invasion technically already happened a long time ago. That's kind of a running joke during the series, is that it's called Secret Invasion, but the Skrulls took over during the 5-year time jump. That's when their secret invasion actually happened. They'd already taken over all these world leaders' positions at the beginning of the series. That was the whole argument that Gravik had with the council. Is like, we're already in positions of power. Like, we already control the world. Why do we want to mess this up?
So why couldn't, but again, if they were already in those positions, who put them in those positions? That's another question. Who put them in those positions? Because it wasn't Gravik. They were already there. So who made the call? Because again, the only Skrull general that they had was Talos. So
evil Skrulls' beef was that they wanted to be able to walk around in broad daylight in their true Skrull form. And that was sort of the other shoe dropping. Like, that would have actually led to all-out war. Now that's basically what Gravik is trying to do, firing this Russian nuclear missile. Like, that's his literal and metaphorical nuclear option now that his plan to kill the president has failed. It's only a coincidence that in real life, there's an ongoing war that Russia has been waging on Ukraine. There's a new scene of Gaia meeting with Nick Fury, who calls him on his plan to stop Gravik and the Skrulls. Like, what are you actually going to do to stop them? There's so many of them, and they're all super Skrulls now. When he gets super
and I'm thinking again, I'm thinking that there's going to be there's going to be another twist onto that. So I want people to be prepared, because I just don't think this is just going. It gotta be. It's gotta be. I don't want it to be ho hum. I don't want it to be like you go into this and you can basically tell what's going to happen. I need a twist that I didn't see coming. I want this to be right. But I feel Marvel would be too chicky to open that kind of, man. Wouldn't that be dope? Wouldn't that be dope? But again, from another YouTuber, they're not going to do that because they're in love and, all of this with Chadwick, and you know what I'm saying? They don't want to ruin his legacy and yada, yada, yada.
Pissed here, asking this person which side that they're on. He's probably talking to his wife, because remember, his wife actually was working with Gravik since the snap, but she's since turned sides, and now Gravik's side wants to kill her.
It's gonna allow you to
Nope, we're not going through that. But what are you guys thinking about this? Put it in the comments below. We're about to wrap this up here in a minute.
I'm assuming just because of the way she was interested in him when he was a child, she became kind of like a surrogate mother to him, and Nick Fury kind of became like a surrogate father, and that's why there's so much closer. That's why Gravik hates Nick Fury so much more than any of the other humans. A lot of people also wondering if Nick Fury actually does have a biological child with his wife here, like a half-human, half-Skrull child. If he did, it probably died after birth. I'm assuming that there is no actual Nick Fury child in present day. There's a new...
And again, what we're not introducing LMDs. We're not introducing, there could be multiple Nick Furies. If he's that smart, wouldn't he be able to have Skrulls on his team that could be able to, or not, if they're not going to do the Skrulls, have LMDs. So he's not the one. He knows he's got to fight Gravik. That's why I said, do y'all believe a 70-year-old man's going to run him to a Skrull and try to give him the business? Hell no. I don't think his wife could be able to handle Gravik, especially as a super Skrull. So why not have an LMD? It would just make more, to me, it would make more sense. Let's wrap this up.
scene of Gaia with his wife attacking the Skrulls, not sure where they're at in this scene. Then we see one of the Super Skrulls freaking out, and then Gravik hulking out or using his cool obsidian powers that he's just given himself to go after Nick Fury inside their base.
That's what I'm saying. Like, definitely don't want to see a Nick Skrull. Man, that man be an ugly little dude. I'm sorry. I don't even think their anatomy can be able to produce a human. Well, you never know. I just don't want to see that. A little bald head green dude with an eye patch. Nah, I'm straight. You know what I'm saying? Calling everybody motherfuckers. You know what I mean?
Technically, they're basing these powers on the original powers of the Super Skrull in the comics, which were based on the Fantastic Four's powers, so it'd be the Thing that they're referencing here. But I think because of the pedigree in the MCU and the way things have gone, they're also referencing Hulk powers too. The only Fantastic Four power we haven't seen is something mimicking the abilities of the Invisible Woman, and that'd be the Frost Beast powers. Maybe we'll see that in episode 5, or maybe they're saving that for the actual finale. Right now, my guess is that they'll just say that either has camouflage abilities, and that'll be like their version of the Invisible Woman's powers turning invisible. She can also create force fields, so technically that would work too. There'll probably be a couple other Fantastic Four references loosely in the background the last couple of episodes. We won't see the MCU team show up for a while. There's a rumor that it's actually going to start out as a period piece movie with them being lost in time back in the 1960s, paying off that Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness Easter egg. Then at some point during the movie, they'll find a way back to present day. They'll time travel to present day before the events of Avengers 5 Kang Dynasty. Part of the idea in the future is they want the new version of Reed Richards to be like a big central figure that rallies everyone together, like a big Avengers level character. One of the problems right now.
See, and that's the thing. If they're gonna if they're setting up if they're setting up the Marvels, then either Monica Rambeau, Carol Danvers, or Ms. Marvel, somebody got to show up. Somebody got to show up, because it'll be a complete waste if any of these people just don't show up at all. And Johnny Washington, you are right. A 70-year-old man can take it. So I don't believe that. That's why I said it has to introduce either LMDs, like model decoys, or multiple Skrulls that are Fury, because then that'll pay off what Gravik did when he stood up and everybody else was a Skrull. Wouldn't it be dope if Fury had a team, you know what I'm saying, of other Skrulls, so we stood up, he wouldn't know who's what, and they're going after Gravik's group? You know what I mean? So yeah, there are humans, but I don't want to see a Nick Fury human Skrull hybrid. That's what I'm saying. I just don't. I don't personally want to see that. But I mean, hey, like I was saying during the last live show, this needs to be open-ended, not tied with a bow. Absolutely. This should be actually, I want this to end on a bomber. I don't want anybody to win. I want this shit to be bad. So when you look at these next new movies or whatever, you're like, and they actually follow the plots of this show. Don't say, well, we didn't get to read that script. We wasn't allowed to watch that show. Bullshit. Let it be where you're leaving off this show with Secret Invasion. Let them go into other the next movie with this being a problem. So that way, if this is being a problem, then you have the people to try to fix it. Same way Kate Bishop could get hit thrown around by King Ben without massive. Man, let me shut up because she was getting tossed, and not in the way I'm thinking.
Now, though, is like the biggest fan favorite character, like the most popular character that they still have around, who's an Avengers level person, would be Spider-Man, but he's still just entering college. So, like, he's not quite there, not quite ready to lead all the Avengers. Normally, had Chadwick Boseman not passed away, I would say that
or they could have recast. Hell, I would say that Black Panther would be the new leader of the Avengers if they would have recast. It didn't have. Again, I'm sure. Let me run this back, because I'm gonna show you how contradictory this is.
I would say that
Nope. I want to go backwards.
All the Avengers normally had
Chadwick Boseman not passed away, but Your man, William Hurt did of Cancer. And they recast him. They need a Thunderbolts movie, right? Well, we need a leader of the Avengers. Honor. We gotta honor the legacy of Chadwick. Chadwick walked on water. He felt the multitude. He led the people out of Egypt. We gotta honor this guy. You know what I'm saying? He the one who stood up to Pharaoh and said, "Let my people go." You know what I'm saying? I didn't even know Chadwick. The way that they talk about Chadwick, like Chadwick got nailed to the cross and died for our sins. Like, seriously. And I'm not taking anything away from Chadwick Boseman. Talent, beautiful brother, did a lot more great of a human being. And again, to honor the legacy, you killed the character. And then showed us his funeral for a second time. And then all of a sudden you're like, well, if Chadwick Boseman had passed away, he'd be leading the Avengers. Come on, dog. All they had to do was recast because he was important. But again, like I said earlier, if he was important, they would have paid Chadwick after he made the $1.5 billion worldwide for that movie. But they would negotiate, and they was talking about replacing him with Shuri back in 2018. Let's finish this up. And exactly, T'Challa and Chadwick are not the same person as a character. T'Challa's a character. Chadwick was an actor. Unfortunately, he passed away from cancer. So did William Hurt. William Hurt's get recast. Got a new movie coming out. He's important. T'Challa dead. Just dead. It's ridiculous. Monica makes sense to show up. I doubt we see Carol. The MCU has a lot of their black characters wasted. A lot of their black characters wasted Monica so far. Well, I mean, we haven't. They didn't wait. I've loved her in WandaVision, so we got to see what her progression is. You know what I'm saying? I won't say that. You know what I'm saying? Because again, I love what they did with her in WandaVision. I thought she was excellent. You know what I mean? There's still more growth. Can't think of her name. She just had a baby recently too. So I think if she doesn't show up in this movie, in this show, is because she literally was pregnant. Oh my God, like last year. So and she recently just had a baby. So Chadwick's first miracle concerning water in the purple grape wine. Exactly. Recast T'Challa. Exactly. It complete hypocrites. Cut the cap. So let's finish this.
Chadwick Boseman not passed away, I would say that Black Panther would be the new leader of the Avengers. But in his absence, Reed Richards.
Hold on, wait a minute. Hold up, wait a minute. This is another epiphany. This is another epiphany that still makes recast T'Challa so vital. There's a Black Panther in Wakanda. Let me say that again. There's a Black Panther in Wakanda. But nobody wants to watch that. So again, they should have recasted T'Challa. Because Shuri's Black Panther, why can't she lead? Oh, because she's not T'Challa, the main character. There's no plans for Shuri at all. They're not talking about Black Panther 3. They're not saying, oh my God, did you see the cultural impact Black Panther Black Panther 3 had? I mean Black Panther Wakanda Forever had? Let's make sure he could be Black Panther. No, T'Challa is the Black Panther, son of T'Chaka, not TJ, and he should have been recasted to lead the Avengers. All I'm saying. They recast the roster just a few months after exactly, but you can't recast a 57-year-old first Black character in the cop. Exactly. Talking about Shuri. I'm just saying they should.
Would be like the next best person to go to. Doctor Strange is also probably one of the biggest characters that could do it, but he's kind of a loner mostly. Like, he works with the Illuminati, for instance. He works with the Avengers team, but he doesn't really consider himself an Avenger. Then they'll end the series in a way that sets up the Marvels movie, probably a post-credit scene with Captain Marvel or something like that. And they'll also probably explain what's going to happen to the rest of the Skrulls that are left on planet Earth. Nick Fury will probably get his job back and go back to the Saber space station, and that will lead right to the beginning of the events of the Marvels movie. The other side of this is explaining how the Dark Reign era begins. Like, how does Thunderbolt Ross become the next president of the United States? In one of two ways. Either the president winds up dying here, the vice president takes over, and Thunderbolt Ross is either already the vice president, or there's another election really soon after this. The world finds out about the Skrulls, and Thunderbolt Ross just capitalizes on the fear around that and uses that to win the election. But part of the idea is that when he becomes US president, he basically tasks Val with restarting the Weapons Plus program, and she's the person responsible for creating the Sentry and what happens during the Thunderbolts movie. That'll happen right after Captain America 4. Cannot wait to see what they do with the Sentry in the MCU. That's going to be crazy. There's a bunch of stuff happening this week. My full episode 5 video will post Wednesday. Make sure to enable alerts for my channels.
All right, let me go ahead and end that part. Again, if you have it, make sure to like, share, subscribe to Emergency Awesome. It is awesome. I've been watching it for years, so I do like doing reactions to his videos and stuff like that. Said they put themselves in the corner, and that's why they don't have a plan going forward. No, they don't. That's why you got to be specific and say it's T'Challa and not Black Panther. Exactly. Because I can say they have a Black Panther. Do y'all, when you hear Black Panther, do you immediately go to Shuri? No. Even in the comics, she was Dr. Doom was more worthy in the eyes of Bast than Shuri was. Dr. Doom, the dude who got whooped up for $250 by Luke Cage because he wouldn't pay him his money, honey. When you hire Luke Cage, you got to get him his money. And Luke Cage beat the brakes off of Dr. Doom for $250. Still one of the funniest comics I ever. Whoever was having whoever watched Dolomite or what's the other one? Oh God, what's like Superfly or Willie Dynamite? Whoever watched Willie Dynamite before they wrote that, man, funny. But again, when you think about Black Panther, do you really think of Shuri? How about M'Baku? How about even T'Chaka? Because even in the first introduction, he was killed. And this is the reason why it perpetuated the story of T'Challa to go to the fighting schools. Do you know what I'm saying? To study every single martial arts that's out there. Literally, Batman and everything. Came back, you know what I'm saying, after getting his education and everything. Challenged for the throne of Wakanda. Won. You know what I mean? It became the Black Panther. So, why not? So, yeah. But what do you guys think? What do you expect in episode 5? Are you expecting a longer episode, episode 5? Or are you expecting this to kind of like go in the episode, like leave us ambiguous? You know what I'm saying? Like set up. It leads in the episode 6. What do you guys think, man? Put it in the comment section. Make sure that you guys put it in the comment section. And for everybody that's new to the channel, I thank you guys for coming into the channel. Let me tell you what Dre from the past can tell you what you can win. What's up? This your man Dre Mac. Want a chance to win a little bit of my money?
Got my money?
Well, all you got to do is like, share, and subscribe to this channel. Go ahead and hit the bell notification so you never miss one of my videos. You know why? Because I'm trying to hit 2,000 subscribers.
Baby needs shoes. My wife needs clothes.
Once I hit 2,000 subscribers, if you like, share, and subscribe to this channel, you will actually have a chance to win a $100 gift card.
Message.
Again, like, share, subscribe, share with your friends. Once I hit 2,000 subscribers, I'm giving away $100. Want a chance to win? All you got to do is do that, and I'll see you on the other side. Hopefully, you're the winner. everybody who is new to the channel, who just started subscribing to the channel. Once I hit 2,000 subscribers, I am going to give away $100 gift card straight out of my own pocket. You know what I mean? I'm going to have a live that day once I hit 2,000 subscribers, and whoever's in the chat at that time will have a chance to win the money. And speaking of that video, man, you can tell I got a big ass forehead, boy, because I got a snapback just revealing all my thoughts. Yeah, I mean, damn. You know what I mean? But I'm good. I'm part of the big forehead crew. I'm good with that, man. See, you know, you can see my thoughts. You know what I'm saying? You can tell that that's a thinking man. Yeah. But anyway, let me go ahead, and you already know what it's time for, man. I appreciate you guys, you know, coming in and hanging with me though.
Yo, the sign is real simple, B. It says wrap it up. Wrap that up, B.
I gotta wrap it up. So I also want to say, when people start questioning T'Challa or start making like stupid ass accusations, just ask them this question.
Who told you that?
Exactly. Who told you that? Anyway, this is your man Dre Mac. Me and my forehead about to get up out of here. It gets the rest. Yes, episode 5. And whoever's laughing at them forehead jokes, you're going to hell. You know what I'm saying? And one of those little Harry Potter broom things. You know what I'm saying? Nah, just joking. Okay, I gotta ask, is that a Simpsons arcade machine that you're right? Yes, it is. It's the Simpsons arcade machine on my right. Episode 5 and 6 better be an hour apiece, at least 50 minutes. At least 50 minutes. You know what I mean? Y'all laughing at my jokes. Okay. Nah, I was just playing. I had to embrace, having a big ass forehead. Like when I was a kid, God rest my friend's soul. But I had a friend in high school who used to call me Little Lemonhead, and she called me Hey Arnold because of my forehead. What's up? Well, late. Boy, you running on super CP time. But yeah, she used to call me Hey Arnold, Little Lemonhead. Kev Nisha, man, I love you, dog. I mean, I sure hate that you ain't here no more, but yeah, she used to have me raw and be just cracking up. You know what I'm saying? You know, see, now you can't do that. Nah, yeah, you can't do that. I crack the jokes on my head. You don't. Nah, but nah. So I had to embrace the forehead. It is because I have friends like that. You know what I'm saying? You know, I have no problem with it, man. I'm joking. You know, I don't care. You know what I mean? But yeah, man, just gotta embrace what God gives you, man. Even though you might think a lot, and a lot of things could be on your mind, you could be sitting there wondering why, if you shave your head, you'll look like the happy face sign off of Walmart's rollback program. You just got to embrace it. Embrace it. But anyway, let me get out of here, man. Thank you guys for tuning into the Dre Mac Show. Always, man, I love you guys. Make sure you guys are like, share, subscribing to the channel. Make sure you hit the bell notification so you never, ever miss a time where I'm live or one of my videos, man. Until next time, I'll let you guys later. Peace and vibe higher. Jeez, you already know what it is, man. Where my outro at? Let me get out of here. If you came to this part of the video, thank you so very much for sticking to the end. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to hit the bell notification so you never miss one of my videos. And if you want to get a little bit more personal with me, make sure that you follow the social media links that's down below. Until next time, I'll holler at you guys later. Peace and vibe higher.